Good morning and welcome back to 501c TV. I'm your host, Janelle Harris, and this is the podcast that talks to system change leaders, thought leaders, nonprofits, and nonprofit partners to find out what is new and exciting in our nonprofit world. And today I have with me Rhonda Rogers with Rhonda's Promise. Good morning, Rhonda.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here today. I was telling Rhonda that I love a good girl power movement. So
you have the right lady here.
I am so happy to have you here. So we're going to talk a little bit today about Rhonda's Promise. And I really want to know, how did you get involved? Why did you start Rhonda's Promise? And where are we at today?
I have to say it's God just to help me start it. I was actually in my position as my first time being a nonprofit CEO. And a lot of times you have challenges in those roles, especially when it relates to board in different directions. And I had run into some difficulty after about 4.5 years. And I had to really think, do I want to keep cycling through, or do I want to have a true impact where I have the decision-making power? And so when I was in that role, I had staff that I inherited. And one of the staff was talking to me about the different things that I did when I came on, which was speak with them, pull them in, ask them what they wanted, and they said to me that I kept every promise. And so when I got ready to leave, it was one of the things that resonated with me because I asked her, what are we going to name the scholarship in my honor, because I was leaving and I wanted to provide a high school scholarship for one of the seniors. And she said, what about Rhonda's Promise? And that kind of stuck to me.
I love that.
And
yeah,
so
it's
because
perfect.
I really believe that when I make a commitment and when I make effort to do something, that I keep it. And so the name stuck with me, and so I decided to resign from that position, and I started Rhonda's Promise July, right off the cusp of coming back from COVID,
Super
July
fun.
of 2021. And so I just put a group of powerful women around me who really uplifted me and gave me the courage to step out and start the 501c3 journey.
Yeah.
Because as you know, the paperwork can be daunting sometimes.
I was going to say, we could probably do a whole separate, separate podcast on like being the CEO of a nonprofit and the challenges that come with that, and then also just starting up a new nonprofit.
Exactly.
But lucky for you, you had all the background, which I think probably helped you out tremendously.
It surely did.
Yeah.
So I got off the ground really quickly, and we just started figuring out, what do we want to do? We know we wanted to mentor girls. I knew I wanted to do something for the senior community. My mother was very active and was involved in different programs, so I knew I wanted to do that. The girls' chat really came out of desire, one of the girls wanting to have more and having a full day around them. And so I really just designed their own conference for middle and high school girls.
Which is so cool.
So they get to go to their workshops, they get to have networking sessions. And so it was just great to see them as little women walking around with their conference bag. It just reminded me of being out at different professional conferences for women. And so the girls really enjoyed it. And now we're entering our third year of that.
So cool.
And I just can't believe it. I'm so excited that we're in our third year. July 12th is my actual anniversary of launching Rhonda's Promise.
Congratulations.
And so it's like birthing a baby. So my baby is a toddler now.
Yeah, exactly. Baby steps, working towards adulthood,
yes.
which is so fun. Where do you guys do that conference at?
We do it at Aloft in Delray. So I
awesome.
have a great relationship with the manager there. One of the managers there, Ryan. And so it started small, and now we have the whole facility. And we're looking to serve 150. We started with about 55, 60. Last year, I reached 125. And this year, our goal is 150.
I think that's so awesome. And, like I said, anything for like empowerment of women and girls. I did see a statistic, which made me super sad, which people might not realize on your website, but I'm going to read this. And it's 7 in 10 girls believe that they are not good enough. And I think that resonated with me because I feel like it starts as like a young girl and it stays with you like into like being an adult. And I hate that.
Yeah.
And
but it's very true.
It is very true.
But you see them, they come in, sometimes they're not looking at you, they want to give you eye contact. I just recently did a tea party at Tealicious Tea House in Delray, which is absolutely gorgeous.
I love that place. Yes, I've been there.
Yeah,
I've been there.
Tea House. And some of the girls wouldn't even give me eye contact when they're signing in. And we actually I brought in an etiquette professional, and she really talked to them about speaking, standing up straight, shaking hands, eye contact. And even in that 3.5-hour span, you can see the difference.
Absolutely.
And as they practiced and stood, they got more confident. And some of them left with friends that they didn't even know. They came as strangers, and they left out after 3.5 hours as friends. And so it really made me feel good.
I love that.
Can't touch everyone. We don't claim to touch everyone, but we're there to empower and uplift. And the more I do it, the more I can see it just growing.
Yeah, I think that's so important. So, so basically, Rhonda's Promise, I believe, you guys are dedicated basically to the success empowerment of girls, specifically in South Palm Beach,
That's
right?
right.
And what are you seeing? Tell us some trends about just this population in South Palm Beach, and what are you seeing, and why does that correlate to being so important and specific to Rhonda's Promise? Why does
Some
that
of the
sit with
trends
you?
we're seeing is that they're now coming out more. Before, I felt like our community did not have a lot. So I focused on South Palm Beach because I did most of my volunteering in Central West Palm Beach.
Gotcha.
And I didn't see a lot of professional women's conferences. I did not see a lot of professional workshops for girls and things like that. So I saw that need. Maybe a church may have something every now and then, but nothing was really happening in Delray.
Got it.
Partially is because we don't really have the facilities. So Aloft is a very new hotel. A lot of people don't know it's on that corner on Federal Highway. We don't have a lot of the big chains like the Marriotts and things like that we have down there. So I think a lot of things don't happen in South Palm.
Gotcha.
But some of the trends really resonate throughout Palm Beach County and throughout Black girls.
Yeah.
Really the low self-esteem, really the body shaming and seeing social media,
Yes.
feeling like they have to be the next Cardi B or,
Right.
whoever, the other young lady, Meg Stallion. And so we try to show them someone else.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Michelle Obamas.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the next up and coming one. You mentioned Alexia Cox.
Oh my
Who's
gosh.
gonna be our next state attorney.
We
That's
love
just
you,
me.
Alexia.
That's just me. But let's talk about those. And so we introduce these professional Black women to the community.
That's huge.
We are unapologetically, and I'll say this to you because you went to my stuff, unapologetically working specifically with Black and Hispanic community.
Absolutely.
We don't turn anyone down, but it is our target because we know a lot of times that we are comfortable within our own. And so that's just kind of how I wrap my arms around them, and everyone is our baby and our mentor. Because through all of these different programs, it's still a mentoring component.
And I was going to say, I think if you get powerful women together in a setting with young girls that are still impressionable, and they see somebody that looks like them, that lives by them, that is in their neighborhood, that says, oh my gosh, if she can do it, I can do it too. I think I 100% agree that there's nothing more powerful than that, and being able to, see yourself in somebody and really then have the hope to think that could be me one day.
Exactly.
That's huge.
Exactly.
So
and that's really
I love
what
it.
the goal is.
Yeah, I love it. So are you guys working in schools? Because I know that one of your focuses is this the Hope Academy.
Right. So
Tell me about the Hope Academy, because I read about this online and I thought it was really cute.
Well, the Hope Academy is a mentoring program for middle and high school girls, and we don't go into girls. We go into different community hubs, and so we have girls sign up on their own, and their parents register them, and it's just like any other social kind of group, club kind of group.
Cool.
So it's the academy just for them for mentoring. And so we do things like the tea party through them, and then those girls get back invited to the girls' chat. So it's our goal to work with them all through the year, and then December is our celebration.
Okay, fun.
Yeah, so they can register, right? Go right on the line. There's a form they can complete and say they want to be a part of the academy. We take girls in at all times, and you don't have to actually be a part of the academy to come to those events.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
open them to the public. So we start with the academy, and then I say, well, I have 50 spots for the etiquette class, or I have 50 spots to go with us on a site visit or on a tour somewhere. So we open it to the community.
So what other types of things are you doing? Because I know I have a middle school boy, which is it could be a whole nother podcast.
Oh, I have 2 boys.
Oh my goodness.
And they're 2 men now.
Oh my goodness. But middle school, I think, is so it's just like such a formative time. So I think it's really important that you're kind of catching them at that time before they're going into high school and they're starting to make some like life decisions about what direction do they want to go after high school and beyond. So what types of like skills or type of mentoring topics do you guys do through the Hope Academy?
Public speaking is big.
Oh, that's huge.
They really love public
feel like
speaking. And
everyone
I
could
have a
use that.
dynamic speaker because people have reached out to me, and she's gotten other gigs, for lack of a better word, off of the fact that she did such a great job, and she's done it twice for us. And so public speaking, effective communication, all different types of communication, a lot of things around the soft skills. And we even talk about being your advocate. That's another one that's very popular. I have a young lady out of Broward County who works with the Urban League of Broward County, who comes down and does get involved and be your best advocate, because a lot of times they do have to speak up for themselves in the schools. And the girls that we work with, their parents may not be as savvy and very confident to go into the high schools and speak up for their child's grade or attendance or whatever. Bullying is still an issue.
Oh,
like I talked about that earlier.
Yep.
body shaming and different things about your appearance. And so those things are still very relevant.
And I would think a lot of them, I know even like my kids' friends, like they don't want their parents involved. They don't, they don't want them stepping in and like solving their problems. But if they don't have the skills and the tools to do it themselves, then it becomes a bigger problem. So,
right. And that's what we try to do. Anything confidence building, making you feel good, making you look good. Even the things that they want to talk about as far as hygiene and what's the proper thing to wear, what should you wear at this time. And we talk about when it's okay to wear the shorts and when it's not okay. And I always give a dress code. Even with the Tea Party, I gave examples and pictures of what kind of dress you can wear and fascinate. And so if you go on my website, they are just absolutely gorgeous.
I'm sure they just like, they showed
killed
up.
It. Yeah, killed it. And we gave out awards for that.
Did
you? If you came and let them pick, who do you think is wearing the best, kind of do a little model, who's wearing the best outfit, who's wearing the best fascinator or hat or something like that.
That's so awesome. And I just going back to the whole like public speaking, it's something that talk to my husband, he cannot public speak. He can talk one-on-one, but you get him in front of a group and he like shuts down. But also for like things like getting a job, like you have to interview.
That's
right. That's what I tell my kids. I'm like, you have to make eye contact and like have a conversation, and you have to sell yourself.
Out there. What makes you stand above someone else?
Absolutely. So I think that's really cool and important because again, like, also if I'm in a household where, my parents are not telling me these things or walking me through these things, or, you get through, I know I talk to a lot of nonprofits that they have first generation college kids. Their parents don't know how to walk them through these things.
The process of even an application if you didn't go, right?
Crazy.
So
how would you know?
Have those experiences.
Yes.
Right.
So it's with any other experience. If you have somebody there to just like hold your hand and walk you through it, I'm sure that's really cool. And I love that you guys have like a network. So once the girls kind of meet, then they kind of have like a group. Yeah, they grow together, which I think is really fun. Okay, so let's also talk about what's our next program. There were 3. There was Hope Academy, Hey Sisters.
Yes, now Hey Sisters, and you said that great.
Hey Sisters, so tell me about this.
What I say when we come in the room, we say, Hey Sisters.
I love that.
It's a mental health awareness group. I launched it last year during the month of May. As we know, Mental Health Month is the month of May of last year. And we just really are trying to come together. I personally suffer with anxiety. You have so much going on. It's a lot in your head all the time. You have to learn how to take those deep breaths and refocus yourself. So we really come together. I have a lot of MSW friends who come and they talk to us and just give us some tips on how to cope. We've done it at restaurants where we all just get a big table in the back and we sit around and talk, take a question, everyone answers it. We've done it at Olin Studios. I had all the girls come, all the women come and get headshots, professional headshots.
Oh my gosh,
because I learned
fun.
a lot that a lot of women in my circle don't have those professional headshots. And when it's time to acknowledge each other, as you know, in this circle, there's a lot of award seasons. And I love to honor them and be able to recognize them and nominate them. And what's one of the first things you ask? Bio and headshot. So that's one of the reasons why I did have it there. And Olin worked with me to make sure that every young lady had a professional headshot at a reasonable price that was covered by Rhonda's Promise and our donors and our sponsors. And as you know, in this industry, everything I do is based on a donor and a sponsor. So I do thank them for that. And you'll see those donors and sponsors publicly on the front of my website.
Yeah, which I think is so. And we were just talking. Rhonda's got an awesome website.
Yes, go check us out.
She's very proud of her website.
I'm so proud of it. It's our baby. We grow it. It's important for me. If I send you there, this stuff is current.
Yeah, for sure.
And the young lady that manages it with me, it's important for her as well. We don't like any old stuff. We were actually going through it yesterday. What can we remove? What can we add? What can we refresh? And always thinking about the next thing. And so
it looks great.
It's important. So thank you.
It's really pretty. Okay, and then you also mentioned, which I love talking about this population, and it's the Aging Gracefully program. Our senior population, which is super, super important. Tell me about that program.
Yes, and so luckily in Palm Beach County and South Palm Beach County, there is a lot of senior community groups. So Pompey Park and Delray Beach has over 100 seniors. They come together. A lot of them are family and friends. Some of my own mentors are in that program, and they gather, and they like to gather, but they want resources. They want someone to come do exercise with them in the chairs. They want someone to come talk about the insurance industry, or there are a lot of scams out there.
Oh my gosh.
Especially these phone scams telling you your grandkid is kidnapped and you need to send money. So we go into those senior communities. So I don't necessarily try to have my own community because there already exists. So I go into several different senior communities and provide the resources that they need.
Which is awesome.
Most recently, we had gotten a grant from Quantum in the community. I know you know about
Yes.
that. And we did hurricane preparation. So we did hurricane kits, and we brought in 2 speakers, one being FP&L. And they were really able to share with them how it works when a hurricane comes, how our systems go down, how they work to bring them back up, how they bring in.
That's
and
so
another
cool.
thing, that those things get scammed. So some of the seniors got to ask questions about, how do you really know they're with FP&L when they come to your door?
Right.
They tell you. So she gave them, the young lady who came to speak, gave them a lot of tips, and specifically. And then after, she went back and wrote out a lot of things for me that I was able to share with the senior leaders and give it out. So Pompey Park, I mentioned, has a group. Another one is at Parish Hall in Delray Beach. They have another group. And most recently, I got introduced to Lakes of Delray, which is another good group. So that's what we really are here to do. So Aging Gracefully is for our 62 and older community, and it's not just women. That in that community we serve all, men and women. Majority, because we like to come out and we socialize, and we always have food. We always have fun.
Yeah, it's so fun.
And then they get a little treat for it coming out, and they love the kits that they got, and we were able to go walk them through what they needed. So it was some non-perishable food as well as water and things like that you typically need for hurricane season. So we wanted to make sure they were ready for June 1.
Amazing. What are some of your goals in the next? So we're 3 years in, so we're toddler. What are your goals for down the road?
Well, right now we're volunteer led. I'm the founder and the president, and then I have 5 other women that support me, and we are all put our hands in. We're the event planners, we're the secretaries, we're the program planners. My goal would be to have it be a staffed, where we could serve myself and serve as a board of directors, and there's actually staff implementing it. That's really what I'm working toward.
Well, I mean, I would say you've accomplished so much already in such a short time, so it's going to be really fun to watch you guys grow. What else do you want people to know about Rhonda's Promise that I haven't mentioned yet? Because we are going to get into, everyone loves a good fundraiser, so we're going to talk about those. But what other things do you want people to know about? Maybe tell us some success stories, some specific ones that come to mind, because I know that people always want to know, who specifically did you help that maybe came back and said, oh my gosh, Rhonda, without your group, I don't know what I could have done.
I think I've had some good success stories around the teens.
Yeah.
I think the teens coming back, kids walk with their feet.
Yeah.
And so my history, my background is a lot in after school. I worked, as I mentioned to you earlier, for Children's Service Council on Prime Time. And so I know kids may not verbalize all the time, but they come back and they say, we enjoyed this. And I'm really big on data because of the places I worked. So I do a lot of satisfaction surveys, and I do a lot of what would you like to see type questions. And so some of the things that I've gotten have really touched my heart. And I mentioned them in my impact report about specific quotes that we have gotten. You've helped me feel free to talk. The young lady who spoke helped me go to my teacher and be able to advocate for my grade.
Yeah.
Just kind of open it up. So looking back at my surveys, I would say those were some of the things that kind of come to my mind when you ask me that question. Is the youth, they really are good, because I always do, and I have them do the survey while they're still there. Because kids are gone. So it's part of that last that draftful prize. If you want to be involved, take a few minutes in electronic. Everybody's got a phone. And I don't make it no more than about 5 questions. And I have an open-ended question. What would you like to see? So I think getting the feedback from the youth.
You know what? I think that's a really important thing to note for other nonprofits, because I really don't think a lot of people take the time to do a survey. And I think that's where you probably find your most, you might think that you're making an impact here, there, or over here, but you might get those surveys back and tell you something different.
No,
so
and they told me, and they're honest, because they told me the food sucked.
Oh my goodness.
So I took,
noted.
I took that, and so this year we're making an effort to not have lunch.
Oh my goodness.
They told me exactly what they wanted. We're gonna have we're gonna have a beautiful laid breakfast and everything, but that's what they kept saying. Change the food, change the food.
Oh my goodness, these kids.
So they're quite honest.
Which I think is awesome. Okay, so tell me about, because we have a very important date coming up. So we're going to make sure we air this so that everybody can get there and make sure that they attend this event. It is called the Hope is Endless Brunch.
Yes.
Because, Rhonda's Promise is really built around hope in many different forms. So tell me about, it's July 13th, so it's coming up. And it's at Indian Springs Country Club. tell me about the theme, the purpose, and what we're trying to accomplish here and why it's so important.
Yeah, I cannot believe it's 3 years. So those who have come to the first year, I launched my nonprofit through this brunch.
Okay.
So as a kickoff fundraiser in 2021, we held our first one.
Okay.
And we started building really from there.
Awesome.
And so the purpose of it was to really go over our accomplishments. I have my annual report there, and just really to celebrate. This year, we've added a component that we're honoring 3 Aging Gracefully champions.
Oh, fun.
So I have 3 young ladies who are seniors, Commissioner Angela Burns from Delray Beach, Mildred Locke, and Ruth Page. And
Okay.
they've all retired from their careers, but are killing it, is what I call it. They're still killing it.
I love
Mildred
it.
is over one of the senior communities.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
she brings the seniors together for
Okay.
me, and very active with Rhonda's Promise.
Cool.
Commissioner Angela Burns was in the school district for many years, and now she's a commissioner with Delray Beach. And Ruth Page is a nurse at my medical, and she volunteers. She's a volunteer nurse at my doctor and
So
where
cool.
I go. And so, like I said, these ladies are killing it, so we're going to honor them as our Aging Gracefully champions. And then we're going to honor 4 college scholarships. We're going to give out 4 college scholarships.
So cool.
So I partnered with a young lady named Carmen Banner who had her 60th birthday, and she looked to our nonprofit to really help her. So instead of them donating or giving to her, they donated to Rhonda's Promise for her 60th birthday.
That is amazing.
It really
What a
is.
great idea.
Yes, and she's out of Texas.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
she came in and had her 60th birthday party. I came and I spoke. People donated, and she got over $3 grand.
Wow.
From her birthday party.
How cool
And
is that?
she wants
What
to
a great
give that-
idea.
She wants to give that $3 grand out, so she'll be honoring
Aw.
4. She'll be doing 3, and I'll be doing 1.
So
I just
cool.
recently lost my mother.
I'm
in
sorry to hear that.
February, so I'm going to give a scholarship out in honor of
Good.
Jackie Newberry. So to all the fans who love my mother, please come out and support us because my siblings and I will be there as well to honor our mother
I
and
love
provide a
that.
scholarship as well. So that'll be the 4th scholarship.
Wonderful. Oh, my gosh. So good. So much excitement going on. Who doesn't love brunch?
Yes.
Everyone should be there.
Yes.
July 13th. So
Indian Springs, great buffet style. We have a beautiful florist. Usually what I do is she'll make these beautiful floral arrangements, and folks can bid on them, can take them from the
Love that.
table and just go out and enjoy the floral arrangement for at least weeks to come, because she does a great job. They usually last for at least a couple of weeks. So it's a
Awesome.
fun time.
I love
It's
that.
a fun time. And so we have already passed our early bird stage, but you can still get tickets for $125, which is very good.
Oh, my
because
gosh.
I'm going to $250, $300 events, right?
I was going to say,
So
that's
only
like.
for the low price of $125, I will promise you a great afternoon.
Absolutely.
And not long, 11:30 to 1:30, because I want to give you back your Saturday, and I understand
That's amazing.
Time is important.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I love it, and I love everything that you guys are doing. I'm sure that we will see each other all around town here now. Anything else you want people to know about Rhonda's Promise specifically before we sign off?
We are here. I don't want you to think just because you don't see a program on the computer or on my website. If you have an idea or a thought of something that can affect women and girls and seniors, please reach out to me. I'm very approachable. I love to grow this organization, and I'm looking for partnerships and funding. And so just be a part of the team.
I love
Help
it.
me keep my promise.
Yes, let's help Rhonda out. Check out her amazing website. Follow her online, Facebook, and I'm sure you guys are on Facebook and Instagram. So
Yes,
we'll put those up. And we appreciate all you're doing in the community here.
Thank
It's
you so
really
much.
great, and I'm really impressed with like everything that you've accomplished in 3 short years.
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
And
I
so
truly
many more to
appreciate
go.
it.
So many more to go. So thank you so much. All right, you guys, we're out of time again, as usual. It goes so fast here on our show, but we want to thank Rhonda Rogers with Rhonda's Promise. So follow along and let's support her brunch that's coming up in a couple weeks. And a special thank you to Kana House Studios. It's Wellington's first and only content creation studio. And we will see you next time here on 501c TV.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rhonda.